Welcome to the You World Order Showcase podcast, where we feature life, health, and transformational coaches being the change they seek in the world. If you'd like to be featured on our podcast to share what you're contributing to making the world a better place for us all, please go to www.jointheyouworldorder.com. Be sure to like and follow our podcast for the latest episodes. Hi, and welcome to the You World Order Showcase podcast. I'm your host, Jill Hart, and today we have with us Anna I can't do it. Go ahead, say your last name for us, Anna.
Anna Bohuslavska.
Anna's from the Ukraine. She's joins us here in the US about 5 years ago. She's a transformational coach and inner guide who helps women who are emotionally exhausted and feeling trapped in the mundane to break free from societal scripts and craft their own formula for happiness so they can live beyond their wildest dreams. Welcome to the show, Anna. It's really great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and pleasure for me.
So tell us your story. And I do want to let listeners know, mostly you help moms to get lined up with their lives. So go ahead.
Yeah, for me, my journey in helping professions started probably since I was a little girl. But when I expressed my interest in psychology field to my mom, she was always, no, you are too emphatic, you cannot go that field. And I believed her. And I ended up in software development, but always has this like background thought, go get a degree in psychology just for yourself, just for yourself. But sure enough, young, want to travel, want to have fun. Who thought about like second education? In my case, it was third. So I kind of delayed and postponed this thing for a long time. And when I got my first son, I faced a lot of emotional challenges. And basically my reactions to his cry was scary to me because I felt like this constant urge to stop it no matter what. And as my mom was no role for me because she was always busy and emotionally absent for me, she was no go person to like ask the advice. So I went studying psychology in terms of parent relationships, and it changed me, changed how I view the world. I started leading support group for parents, and the more I work with parents, mostly it was moms, the more I saw that if moms itself would be healed, if moms itself would be happy, those questions wouldn't be on the table in general. And so now I focus in more on helping moms, but I also have an audience, not moms, but men's, but I help people to see how you can manage all that on your plate and still be happy, still be present with your kids, with your family, with your friends. Because through our transition, when we moved to USA, we moved right before COVID, and a lot of things that I thought like, okay, I will continue support group in here, but you cannot go outside, you cannot meet other people. And I moved aside a lot of my dreams once again. And it led me to burn down, to being so focused on needs of others that I found myself totally emotionally absent. And basically, I noticed that I became the mom who I so tried not to be. The mom who is constantly busy, and the moms who cannot be fully present for kids, thinking of, I need to do this, I need to do that, till the point that I would wake up in the morning and look at the watch thinking when this day will be over. And it was hard to admit for myself that I'm in that situation. But when I saw myself in eyes of my son, I thought, no, I need to take it under control and change it. And I start once again my own healing journey, my own transformational journey, learned new things, new perspectives, saw the new ways to make it all possible. Because what I found through my journey, that a lot of approaches, they kind of help with one specific area, but the other goes down. And it was always how I make it all work together. So I started taking different pieces and putting my own picture and seeing like this holistic approach to well-being. And now I'm helping other women to make their life in alignment with their true selves without those put on them someone expectations, what they need and should and not they want, and help them be happy, help them be present, help them be present not only for their kids but for themselves, and then change whole family dynamic, community around them. And I hope one mom at a time I will make this world a bit better place for all of us.
Love that. And it really does. If you start with the moms, it impacts the whole society, because my husband likes to say, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And as moms, we just tend to, we just we want to make everybody else happy. We don't really think about our own happiness or what we want or what our goals and desires are for our lives. We're just caught up in the all of the things that we have to do every single day. And it can be overwhelming if you have children. It just, like, just take laundry, for example. The more children you have, it's like 2 loads of laundry per child per week. That was my estimate. I have a friend who has 8 kids, and it worked out pretty good because she had like 16 to 20 loads of laundry a week. They were always doing laundry. I was just like, girl, this is crazy. But it just,
Yeah.
kids wear clothes and they chuck them in the laundry basket. And so you're constantly doing laundry for them.
Yeah, and I want to just mention that you said like we focusing on giving our kids best and put aside our dreams and desires. But here's the biggest misconception, because we think that if I work hard enough, if I put aside my desires and tell my kids like go get your dreams, make their dreams reality, like they have incongruent picture, like I can have my dreams but you cannot, how I can achieve if I don't have an example. So it's like dead end if we not realize that we, no matter how many words of encouragement we say, if you do not show by example, they wouldn't get it.
Yes. And that goes across all all of the things in life. You know,
Yeah,
if you're in a bad relationship, you're modeling a bad relationship for your kids. Get out of that relationship. You're not helping the kids by sticking around,
yeah,
which was something that people used to say, "Oh, we'll stay together for the kids." That's crap. You're not doing it for the kids. You're doing it because you're not taking responsibility or taking action to make things better so that you can show them this is how you do it. When you find yourself in a bad situation, this is what you do to make the situation better. The same with not putting your dreams aside. Just
mm-hmm.
you're modeling bad behavior for them. And expecting that they're gonna somehow figure it out,
Yeah, yeah,
which is really the reason why people should hire coaches and should look to people that can help them. I was like you when my kids were young. My first 2 kids were young. I didn't have anyone that I could go to ask questions of. I didn't have young kids around me when I was growing up. So kids were really foreign to me, and my mom didn't really want to have kids. She had 3 of us, but she didn't really want kids, so wasn't she wasn't a terrific mom or role model in that area. Um, she had other things that she was really good at, but being a mom was not one of them. So I would have loved to have somebody like you come along and say, hey, these are some skills that I can, or tools that I can show you how to navigate these different things that you're trying to deal with when it comes to having kids and having a career and having a relationship with your husband. how all of those things can work together to create a life that you're happy to live, and you don't wake up in the morning and look at your watch and go, oh,
Yeah.
12 hours. 12 hours and I can come back over here and escape again.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to hire someone, because first of all, you can feel like something off, but do not know what exactly something off. Because if you as a child experience that this is kind of what is normal thing
Yeah.
looks like, you kind of live in the same normal things, but you deep down inside, you will feel that something is off. And someone from outside of your picture can help you and see this. And the same goes like when we are small, we kind of feel what we want to be like, what we dislike, and we protest our parents when they say like, no, you should do that, and sometimes it goes to extreme, like your opinion doesn't matter, do what I say, and all that stuff. And we kind of disconnect from ourselves and become even unfamiliar with what I really want. I have a lot of moms with whom I work, and on the simple question, what brings you joy, they cannot answer even 3 things. And
Wow.
like how you can build the life that you want, how you can show your kids what it truly means to be happy if you do not know for yourself what it means for you. So it's all started with connection with yourself, and it's hard when you do not know where to start.
Yeah. And even with the internet, it's really hard to just look at the big picture and to recognize that uh, the way that it has always been done, or the way that you were taught, or the way that you were raised doesn't have to be the way that you raise your kids. There, you have choices. You
Yeah.
have a lot of choices, a lot more than you may even think. You have choices on whether you want to send them to school or not. It's an option. You might have to move because the laws around where you're living may require you to do things that you don't want to do. But there are, in the United States, there's lots of different places you can live that have lots of different rules about different things in your life. Um, my husband and I were talking about pot the other day when we were walking. And it was like, we live somewhere where pot's illegal, marijuana is illegal. But there are lots of places in this country where it's not illegal. So, if you want to smoke pot, move somewhere where it's legal. Problem
Yeah.
solved.
Yeah.
You know?
As we have a saying in Ukraine, like, you are not a tree, you can move.
Yes, you're not a tree, you can move.
Yeah, but
And
also it's about realization that you have those choices. Because a lot
yes,
of us kind of fall into this thinking that lives happen to us and we have no control over it. But statistically, every single day, every single one of us makes approximately 35,000 choices.
mhm.
And one of that choice can be, no, I won't allow this behavior towards me. I won't allow this happen. I want to change, because most powerful thing that you can do is not only complaining that it's hard, that I don't know what to do, but decide that you want to change. Because
And
from
that
that
change
point,
is
you can start
possible.
searching. Yeah. And only when you decide internally, like, not just like, yeah, I want to change, but really feel that you want to change, only then you can start taking actions, taking steps that will lead to that change.
Mhm. And coaches will come along, or people will come along that can show you that, this is the next step. Just do this little thing. It's not like you have to suddenly be somebody different. Though I
Yeah.
promise you, you start making little changes, and at the end, you're going to find that you're dramatically different than the person who was miserable that you started out to be. And the people around you will change. I don't know if they actually change or your perception of them changes, but they do change. Things that
Yeah.
may have been driving you crazy, suddenly they're either not doing it or you're not noticing it. But either way, it impacts you in that you're a happier human being. And happy people are nice to be around. And so your friend group grows. And it really does make the whole world a better place when you take steps to make yourself happy.
Yeah. And here's the tricky thing about like women, especially moms who are overwhelmed. They often in that place because they do not allow themselves to ask for help. But it's like the first most crucial step, because walking on this journey alone feels very lonely and scary and uncertain. But when you have someone, coach, friend, no matter who it is, by your side, leading your way, guiding you, helping, taking, like, giving you accountability, supporting you, that you know that someone held you back, this one feeling that you have support already changed a lot. Like when we were living in Ukraine, my mom lived close by, like 10-15 minutes walk from my house. But I rarely asked her for help because like at that point I had only one child and it was pretty okay. But when we moved to the United States, it was not an option anymore because now she's thousands of miles away. And for me, just that thought that I cannot call her to come help me made a huge impact on how heavy it felt just from knowing that. So if you're in an overwhelmed situation, know that there's plenty of coaches, people who are ready to help you. Just ask, just reach out.
Do you do coaching is one-on-one or do you do groups?
I have a Facebook community where we do weekly coaching calls and support each other. And also I do one-on-one coaching. Group program is in process coming in future.
So when you talk about your coaching, so it's in person,
I do online.
online.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's
This
through
is
video calls. If person lives nearby and she prefer one-on-one in person, then we can meet in person. But nowadays with online space so developed and widely spread, like your city limits is not a limit for you. Is not a
yeah.
limit to reach for help, to find someone who will feel best fit for your situation, for you.
I like the group aspect too, because when you're working with moms, it's easy to feel like you're the only one,
Yeah.
or this is happening to me, but it's not happening to anybody else, or there's got to be something wrong with me because XYZ keeps happening to me. But when you're in a community, you see that no, everybody has these same kinds. It might not be exactly the same situation, but they're similar. And they all bring different approaches to resolving resolving it. And
Yeah.
sometimes just being able to voice what you're feeling in a group of other women who are going through something similar is so empowering.
It definitely makes this journey less lonely, but also the power of group. And that's why I love the online community and group calls, because someone can ask the question that will be your next question. And when you will have it, you will already be prepared for it. Or some aspect that you didn't thought, or even for someone brings up, oh, this is really, it's up my energy, what I can do. And you're like, oh, it's up my energy too. I even didn't realize it. So group space is very powerful in terms of expanding, and it just a powerful experience. Yeah.
It really is. And you make friends in those communities that last forever. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter where they are in the world. I have friends all over the world that I've met in different communities and different groups, and we talk,
Yeah.
and we make it may be a month or two before we reconnect, but it's just so easy to shrink your world up and to have so many more options to reach out and work with others. And I just to feel like you're not alone. A lot of it is just being a mom in the world, and even in this day and age, can be one of the loneliest.
Yeah.
I like hate to say occupations, but it is an occupation. It's what you're doing with your time. You're trying to raise other human beings. And
Yeah, and it's most important occupation for our planet, for our species, like to survive, to thrive, to not go downhill. And yet you put it, all the load puts on your own, and you kind of need to figure out how to jungle it all, how to navigate it all. So yeah, building friendship, and it's kind of the problem of the system itself with all this stuff. And I really hope that everyone can find at least someone, at least one person, let it be online, in that you will never met in person, but still some person that you can relate to. It already will feel less lonely, because in reality, every single mom that comes to me, they think that struggles like unique to them, and no one struggle with that, but it's not. We all struggle with that. We just have the tendency keep it quiet, keep it to ourselves. Do not show it online, do not show it on Instagram, put only beautiful things and all those role models that kind of fake, and everyone knows that they fake, but still your brain jumps to comparison. Yeah, so finding the people who you will feel at, at the same place and going toward, because we human beings, we are creature of connection. We would not survive without it.
why do you think going it alone is really difficult for people?
First of all, when you feel that you're alone on this, you start feeling that what happening to you happening to only to you. And this makes you feel like no one can help you because no one deal with it. And it makes you even harder to reach out for help, because you think like, how would they help me? They do not understand what I'm going through.
I know that you offer an overwhelm to harmony um, invitation to work with you. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because I think this is a good
Yeah,
place for that.
sure. I in this coaching sphere, not just to like make a business or something like that. I'm here because I know how it is to be a child of overwhelmed mom, and I know how it is to be overwhelmed mom. And this is the place that I wouldn't recommend to anyone, or like say that someone should go through it. This is the place that I want to help to avoid as many people as I can. And that's why I extended my invitation to everyone, despite their uh, situation, whether they open to help, whether they have ability, possibility. I invite everyone who is feel the calling, who wants to change it, who feel that they're ready to change it, to work with me for free for 5 days, one-on-one, and let me help you to break from that overwhelm. Let me help you make your life easier, comfortable, happier, joyful.
That's a very generous offer. Um, and I hope if there are moms out there that are struggling with trying to do it all, or just feeling like you're really alone and you have no one to talk to, take Anna up. Just having someone to say, and this isn't to minimize how great you are in other areas of your life. I, I I'm reminded of when I first got into life coaching, there's the wheel of life, the where you
Yeah,
divide up the pie into the different aspects of your life, and then you color it all in and you draw a circle around it, and that's the wheel. It's all bumpy. It's really hard to get by on a bumpy wheel on your bicycle. Um, so, you know, you could be thriving in certain areas of your life. Maybe your business is going great. Maybe your relationships with your friends are great, but you're feeling like, God, I'm a sucky mom. Or my kids are driving me crazy and I don't know how to deal with this. It's okay. Just reach out to Anna and let her help you navigate that part. I my kids are all old now. So I remember when there were certain times in their lives, and my husband was gone all the time when they were like the teenage years comes to mind, and teenage boys in specific in the country. And they had ideas about what they were going to do and how they were going to do it, and didn't really align with what I wanted for them. And, having somebody to talk to is really important in times like that. And just to give you strategies for, how to negotiate with them, how to make things not feel so confrontational. Because one of my triggers is I hate confrontation. I don't like that stress that it puts on my body. Um, but there's times when you don't have any choice. You're gonna have to confront a situation. And having somebody that can give you the tools to deal with something like that, they're priceless in my book.
Yeah. And also, I want to emphasize that uh, everything starts with you. Like, if you know your values, if you're in connection with yourself, if you know what you want, if you know how like life should look like for you, then a lot of questions that outside of you become less charged emotional, and it's become easier. The relationship improves because like you know what you stand for, you know what your boundaries, you know how to respect them and all that stuff. And yeah, it's truly a transformational journey to that will serve you in any area of life. And I have clients with ripple effects in all area of life, not only like overwhelmed. It's nice to see because all starts with you, and the better help, even with kids relationship, it starts with you.
I couldn't agree more. It just the getting a handle on what your boundaries are. Not that you're going to be out there going, these are my boundaries, but just to know personally, because there are so many people that really don't understand what their own boundaries are because they've never
Yeah.
looked at it. They don't know what they stand for. They don't know what they want in their life, what they want to allow in their life, and they don't know that they have a choice. You can
You
pick.
always has a choice. You always has a choice.
But there are a lot of people that don't realize that they do have a
Yeah,
choice. They
unfortunately.
think they're just like stuck in this situation. You might not know how to exercise the decision that you're making. And again, somebody like Anna can give you the tools to figure that out. And it's not like she's going to tell you what to do, but she can tell you the questions to ask yourself so that you can figure out what to do.
Yeah. It's nice how you underlie it, because I'm a true believer that we have everything we need within ourselves. Every
Mhm.
answer, every tool, every choice, everything. And our potential is unlimited the moment you tapped into it.
Yeah, but that's you got to open the box first. And a lot of times, you just don't realize that A, there is a box, and B, you can open it and find out what's in there.
Yeah.
And your whole life changes when you start exploring the possibilities. It's like it's kind of magical. I love
Yeah.
what you're doing a
Thank you.
lot. So, how do people get in touch with you?
They can go on my website, lifebeyondscripts.com. They can reach me in my Facebook and on other social media with the same handle, Life Beyond Scripts. And I'm always open to connection. Come join my world, see what I'm about to. And I'm always there to help, to share what I have and extend my helping hand for you.
Awesome. So this has been an amazing conversation, and I'll definitely put your links in the show notes. What's the one thing that you hope the audience takes away from the conversation today, Anna?
I want every one of you to know that you are chosen to be happy. Not because you did something good or not good, not because you have something or doesn't have, not because you achieved something or not because you have kids or not. It doesn't matter. You are chosen to be happy just because you are here on this planet, you were born. And all it takes to feel that happy, to live that happy, is to claim it. And I'm here to help you.
Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to me.
Thank you for joining us for the U World Order Showcase podcast. Remember, if you would like to be featured on this podcast as a life, health, or transformational coach, please visit www.jointheuworldorder.com. We look forward to talking to you next time as we present another life, health, or transformational coach being the change they seek in the world.